is the Writer's Almanac for Wednesday. It's the 18th of August, 2021. It was on this day, 1958, Vladimir Nabokov's Lolita was published in the United States. It had come out in France 3 years before by a publisher that specialized in erotica. The story of a middle-aged man, Humbert, and his obsession with his landlady's 12-year-old daughter. Graham Greene loved it. E.M. Forster, Evelyn Waugh, Edmund Wilson did not. In a postscript, Nabokov wrote, "Once or twice I was on the point of burning the unfinished draft when I was stopped by the thought that the ghost of the destroyed book would haunt my files for the rest of my life." And it was on this date in 1920, the 19th Amendment to the Constitution was ratified, giving women the right to vote. The women's suffrage movement arose in the 19th century hand in hand with the abolitionist movement. 1848, Women's Rights Convention, Seneca Falls, New York, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Lucretia Mott. And in the latter half of the 19th century, gradually states began loosening restrictions on voting rights for women. Wyoming, the first state to grant women the full right to vote, 1890. 1919, the constitutional amendment passed. Both houses of Congress was sent to the states for ratification, and on August 18, 1920, it all came down to Tennessee. The legislature tied 48 to 48, and it all came down to one person, Harry Byrne, 24 years old, the youngest state legislator, who had been expected to vote against it, but his mother wrote him a note and said, "Be a good boy and help Mrs. Cat put the rat in ratification." And he voted yes. Here's a poem for today by Susan Thurston, which she wrote in response to the poem "Daily I Fall in Love with Waitresses" by Eliot Freed, her poem entitled "Daily I Fall in Love with Mechanics." Daily I fall in love with mechanics, with their smudged coveralls and names embroidered over where their hearts just might be: Pete, Stuart, Ray, Chuck, Butch, and thick-soled boots. I love how they jack up my car and press the pneumatic drill to my tires, and with hip press, lean into the whir of liberation, nuts and bolts falling, released from so much spinning and holding everything tight in place. I feel their hands roughened by spark plugs and washer fluid, yet sweetened by overflowing oil pans, slide over me. Their arms and shoulders remind me of deep river valleys and other places where we could tumble after setting the parking brake, fumbling and clutching so melodiously. I am left grateful for their engine knowledge. Daily I fall in love with mechanics, with their grease-smudged bad boy grins and come hither wide-opening garage doors. They tell secrets in the pit, and I want them, I know them. They slip belts back into place, their legs diesel dark. They have lovers or spouses or children or all. They are strut-bearing, reliable. They know how timing belts twist. Their toothpick-punctuated grins reassure you they are giving you the best deal in town and would not let you drive without checking all your fluid levels. Daily, I fall in love with mechanics. They are better than free air, want my vehicle to be safe and sound, but they never travel far enough before pulling the next car into the station. A poem by Susan Thurston, "Daily I Fall in Love with Mechanics," used by permission of the poet here on the Writer's Almanac. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.